Here comes Mr. Humbug. Here comes Mr. Grim.
I was watching it last night. Did you know? Did I mention
No.
that? I was watching it last night.
Oh, mate.
It's the only Christmas film that matters. There's no film that better gets me in the Christmas spirit than Muppets Christmas.
Right, innit?
After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas. It's so good.
Brilliant.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, if you're lacking some Muppet action in your life, don't worry. Here we are, baby. Here's the news. A current WWE star has criticised the ending of TLC. We have injury updates on 2 WWE superstars. And an ex-WWE superstar has officially changed their ring name. Find out who in a little bit. So the fallout from TLC continues, and one WWE superstar wasn't very happy with the way things fell at the very end.
That's right, Dana Batista, or Brooke is
She's not Dana Batista yet.
yet.
Oh, let them have that date first.
Speaking on Instagram Live, saying something I totally disagreed upon was the fact that they didn't let women have their time to shine. I think that's something that they needed to do, especially after the match, was give those women the appreciation that they deserve. And you know what? It was a really abrupt ending. It was a really odd ending to TLC for sure. Asuka retrieving the belts and then a very brief celebration, and then it cuts away to everybody scrapping for some reason, which they've been doing so for about 90 minutes or something. It was weird. I'm not making excuses or anything here because it did still feel weird, but I would suggest that the producers, the people in the gallery at that point were probably panicking given the Kairi situation, and maybe they didn't want to linger on anything that was happening in the ring for any longer than they needed to, so they rushed that.
Feels like that might have been the case.
Yeah, maybe. And as I say, I'm really not making excuses because it did feel weird, and especially after another historic match in the first ever women's TLC tag match. There should have been more celebration and less focus immediately on the men scrapping over there.
But I feel like that sort of style it goes against like WWE's production ethos, like to so quickly cut away from something. It's the stuff that we laughed about like TNA with to the back.
Yeah.
To the back, quick, let's go over here. Like that's very away from them, which suggests to me that was done. That wasn't done deliberately. That was done because, as you say, there was concerns for Kairi, and they didn't want to sort of linger on that shot when they should be getting somebody down to go check on Kairi. So let's cut over here.
Is there something to be said that maybe they did the quick cutaway to make it feel more organic? Make it feel like it was a real fight, like everything's breaking down, quick, get over there. That's a possibility as well. I don't think that's what happened. But I don't know, it was odd, but it wasn't like Kairi was going to be getting up and celebrating with Asuka, and especially in a tag match where they've just retained both titles, it would have felt really weird just Asuka being on her own. So maybe it was the right call.
Yeah,
they know a lot more than we do with regard to what all of the other cameras were seeing at that point, of course. So maybe they just thought, okay, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, that's quite possibly what it is. I think Dana Brooks true what they said, like it took the shine away, but I don't think it was done maliciously.
No.
I think there was reasons for it. Obviously, Kairi Sane is a concern injury-wise after TLC. There was some fears that maybe there was a concussion, but Ryan Satin from Pro Wrestling Sheet can tell us a little bit more.
And here I am, Ryan Satin
Saying
from
the words.
Pro Wrestling Sheet.
Ryan's words via Adam's mouth.
Channeling Ryan. Hello, Ryan. So we don't have confirmation yet if Kairi Sane has indeed suffered a concussion or not. However, it has been confirmed that Sane has not been cleared to wrestle, and there's no word on when she might be cleared for an in-ring return. We did see her last night bringing Asuka to the top of the ramp, but then she just went backstage, and it looks now like the focus is very much on Asuka versus Becky for the Royal Women's title, heading up to the Royal Rumble, which is good.
It does suggest, though, that there's no plans for the women's tag team titles or the Kabuki Warriors, for the immediate anyway, whilst Kairi's going forward. It feels like they're going to, Kairi's going to... This is a nice chance for Kairi Sane to take some time away if needed, and they can... And you know what? And I thought Becky did the sit-down promo, and I thought it was a real strong promo, and it gave some credos for Becky versus Asuka happening, and then if it gives Kairi time to go away and recover, that's great. So best wishes and quick recovery to Kairi.
I hope it is a quick recovery because we've seen, you know, like EC3 is a really good example here. Suffered a concussion all the way back in September, hasn't been seen on WWE TV since. And I know we weren't going to see him anyway.
He was riding such a wave as well.
But the point is, he's still not been cleared for an in-ring return. That was all the way back in September. It's really good that WWE take these things so seriously now, because we know how dangerous concussions can be. I hope she's okay.
We also saw Aleister Black get himself a bloodied nose during his match with Buddy Murphy. I thought it was a broken nose. Commentary was really weird during that, because they were talking. So you had Vic and Samoa Joe talking about the jaw injury to Aleister Black. Buddy Murphy's working on the jaw, and then Jerry Lawler's going, is no one going to talk about he's got a broken nose? Is it one of? And then Vic was just like ignoring it. They were getting word to not talk about the broken nose.
This is it, isn't it? This is it. I know. It feels like they're never clear on what they can and can't mention.
Yeah.
When a little bit of the crimson is involved. But yeah, we have an update there. He has been cleared for an in-ring return. It's not a broken nose, just a busted nose. I don't know how it works. But he's going to be back very, very shortly.
He'll be back behind that door.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Right.
Some notable absences from the Tuttlers was Triple H and Vince McMahon, who were normally backstage at Gorilla, nowhere to be found last time.
Yeah, so Meltzer noting that they conferenced in on a meeting before the show. Everything was put together as it normally would be, but then it was Paul Heyman producing the announcers. So if they sounded different, that's the reason why. It's because Paul Heyman was there. Maybe Paul Heyman was panicking. Going, don't mention the nose! Don't mention the nose!
I think I said it once, but I got away with it. Yeah, and Bruce Pritchard was working backstage as well on a lot of the SmackDown side of things. But there's also a little bit of a concern that they didn't react quick enough
to the Kairi situation. It seemed like nobody knew what was going on, with the exception of Becky and Asuka seemed to pick up on it. I've watched it back, and it looked like Charlotte didn't really know what was going on.
Charlotte just kept hammering her.
Yeah.
What? I can't hear you. You're fine.
And the referees didn't seem to pick up on it very quickly either. They certainly knew by the end of the match, but communication was off. And I would suggest that part of that could be the people in the gallery's fault, in fact. If they didn't get the message relayed to them, or they were unable to relay the message to the referee, or they didn't do so anyway, I think that is a concern. But yeah, very odd for Triple H and Vince not to be there anyway for a pay-per-view.
I'd imagine they were doing other. Obviously, they were there doing
watching
other things.
Muppets Christmas Carol, probably.
They probably were as well. I know Vince is doing a lot of stuff with Alpha Entertainment, so he's sort of moving his way from that. Triple H is obviously running the golden.
Is it marionette and puppet? Muppet, marionette and puppet.
Yeah.
It's not a mop. It's not a puppet. It's marionette, isn't it? That makes carry on. Carry on! Carry on!
We don't know the whereabouts of Triple H. I presume he was doing stuff with the Black and Gold brand. I assume Vince was doing stuff with Alpha Entertainment. Or maybe they were watching Muppets Christmas Carol and then Googling what Muppet meant. We reckon they'll be back. I don't know whether they were backstage on Raw last night. That's the thing I presume they were. They were back in position on Raw. Nothing felt like. Nothing felt
it's the
different.
Sort of film that you've got to watch twice, to be honest. If I watch it, I'll be watching it again tonight.
Hey, Vince, should we go to Raw? Let's just watch it one more time.
We're Marley and Marley. Woo!
Triple H and Vince doing Marley and Marley. There's more gravy than grave about you.
That was Barry.
Oh yeah, wasn't it? We're Barry and Barry. Bobby Lashley, not Bobby Lashley. Jorge Arias, aka Sin Cara, turned up at AAA, basically in all his WWE merch the other night. We don't know whether that's allowed or not, and more on that later. But in an update to Jorge Arias in AAA, a bit of a new gimmick for him.
Yes, he has officially changed his in-ring name now to Cinta de Oro. So he's no longer going to be going by Sin Cara, which is still a WWE registered trademark. There were a lot of comments on yesterday's video regarding the sort of legality of this, and we all know that AAA will do whatever they want. They'll just use licensed music all the time. They just don't care. To me, the issue was, and what we were talking about yesterday, him using this was a breach of his contract.
Yes.
Which, although it happened in Mexico, he still has a contract with WWE about being presented in such a way and using their intellectual property. So I don't think AAA were ever at risk of getting in trouble, because they will do what they want.
Yeah.
I think there is a chance that maybe Sin Cara, I mean, this has happened very, very quickly, so I would suggest that maybe he's realised that he's done goofed.
But there's also a really wonderful reason behind this. Cinta de Oro was actually a Mexican wrestler who in 2016 passed away. He was also one of the guys that trained Jorge Arias, and also Sin Cara's mask that he's been wearing in WWE has carried the Cinta de Oro symbol on it. On the sly.
I didn't know that. That's really lovely. Oh, that's cool.
So this is like a passing of the torch moment. There's a photo on Instagram of Jorge Arias receiving the Cinta de Oro mask from the family of Cinta de Oros.
Nice.
So this is like this. So it's the rebirth of Cinta de Oros in AAA, which I think is a really wonderful thing to do. It's like, I love how Mexican tradition in wrestling can do that. Like you can have a character live on by somebody else taking the mantle. Very much in. There's a few other countries and other companies that do that. Like you couldn't imagine that in WWE so much.
Doink the Clown, the only exception.
With the
perhaps.
exception, that wasn't like a passing of the torch to Paul Diamond. There you go, Paul. This is oh, it's very kind of you. Why are you passing this to me? Well, the only other one was Max Moon.
Oh yeah, Conan, and then
Paul Diamond.
It was Paul Diamond, of course it was.
Diamond again.
Of course it was.
The reason that Paul Diamond got the Max Moon gimmick was because he was the only one that fitted in the outfit.
Is that right?
Apparently so.
Oh,
Paul Diamond just getting all the torches passed, all the hand-me-down gear.
We don't know, just going back to Sin Cara, or Cinta de Oro, sorry, we don't know if we're going to see him pop up wrestling anytime soon, because he is still technically under this 90-day no-compete clause.
Exactly.
So we don't know if we're going to see him return to the ring, or if he's getting sued right now.
He could very well be, we'll see. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.